a big old baby. This is a human child.
Yes. That's our baby.
This is a human. Say, I am human.
Hey baby, kiss me hard, don't kill my vibe. All my feelings on fire, it's all time. Hey baby, kiss me hard, don't kill my vibe. All my feelings on fire, it's all time.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Corinne, Nick, and Scout, and today we are coming to you with the very first So You Got a Puppy episode 1. So this first video is going to be a bit of an introduction video. We're going to talk about the #1 question, which is where we got Scout, give you a little bit of the background story on all things Scout, and then this one's going to be about so you're getting a puppy and kind of what we think that you should be aware of, things that we wish we would have known, some of the things that we think that you should know before getting a puppy that might alter your decision on whether or not now is the right time for you. So, Scout Torres, how did we get Scout?
We got Scout. The true life story.
The true life story.
True life story is we were looking for a puppy for like a year down the road, and it just so happens that someone had an accidental litter that Corinne saw on Craigslist.
Craigslist, guys, not recommended.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted a golden retriever, and that's why we were looking a year ahead, because usually breeders, you need to get on a list, and we weren't technically ready for a puppy. We knew that waiting a year would probably be the best decision.
And they cost a lot of money if you get them from a breeder.
A lot of money. So, but we were looking into adoption. You know, getting a dog from a breeder wasn't necessarily our first option, but I grew up with golden retrievers. I knew I wanted a golden retriever, and finding a golden retriever at a rescue is very difficult, especially if you're wanting a puppy, and we wanted to be able to raise the dog. So we went to Fullerton, California to get our marriage license. And
these people told us that they had one little girl left, and we had originally, yeah, we wanted a boy. And before Corinne and I went to meet the dog, I told Corinne, okay, you let me know if this is the right puppy for us, okay? And she said, no, Nick, you gotta let me know, all right? You can't put this whole decision on me.
Because I'll take all the puppies. Like, there's not a puppy in the world that I would not take, so. So
they brought her out of the car, and they handed her to me, and she immediately kissed my nose, and from there it was game over. I looked at Corinne, I said, right away, we need this dog.
We, at that point, we didn't even have money to pay for Scout. We didn't have food, we didn't know. I mean, it was like a shotgun decision. We knew we couldn't leave without her, and actually, since we didn't have the money, we had to go find an ATM that was open, because at that hour all the banks were closed. Thankfully, we found an ATM that allowed us to pull out enough money. We went back and met with them, got Scout, and at that time Petco closed in like 30 minutes. So we ran to Petco, had no idea what we needed. So we just have a wealth of information for you guys, because you know, this was not something that we had planned very well for. So we've learned a lot. So first things first, I am about as big of an animal lover as you can get. So I like to be very honest with people, and I think that this can kind of help put it into perspective for people that are getting a puppy. Think of it like a human baby. And I know people that have human babies are probably like, Corinne, seriously? But this puppy depends on you for you to keep it alive. Ultimately, I mean, you need to nurture this puppy, you need to feed this puppy, you need to care for this puppy, and the way that you raise the puppy usually is the way the puppy will be as a dog. And people say all the time, how did you guys get Scout to be such an amazing dog? We poured everything into raising Scout, and you know, we socialized her, we trained her, we love her so hard. You know, we've always been very affectionate, and I think all of those things, plus her, you know, just having an incredible character, played a big part in how Scout is.
So when we first got her, shotgun decision, but I got on the internet and started researching everything I could about how to train dogs.
So when you think about a puppy, think about it as you are getting a baby, you know, a human baby, if you need to think about it that way. You know, you need to have time for this baby. It's not something that you can just put in a crate and leave it there all day. You know, it's especially important because you're taking this puppy away from their mom and their litter, and crying is going to be a natural thing. You know, it's a new place. They're away from their litter. The separation anxiety is an actual thing. So you have to be prepared to be really patient with, especially at night. Scout cried a lot. She had a really hard time. Definitely. So, and you know, that's normal, but it is a thing. You're going to lose sleep. It costs a lot of money. You're going to have accidents in your house. Like that's just, you know, as good as Scout was, these are things that come along with having a puppy. They say that the first 3 months of a puppy's life are the most important for learning, just like a human baby. This is the most important time that you should be putting into raising them and training them. So if you are getting a puppy and the next 3 months are really busy, you know, keep that in mind. That's something to consider, that you know, that's for them the most important time to socialize them. And with that, I mean like the vacuum and the hair dryer.
Yeah, anything that you can think of that they're gonna see as an adult dog, you should be putting them around as much as possible. Yeah, that's them getting socialized to everything that they're gonna be ready for later on in life. So like, we took her to events with a ton of people, and we walked around and made sure that she was comfortable with every kind of person. We made sure that she was
tall, small, women, men.
Yep, made sure that she was comfortable with other dogs. So that was huge for us. Like Corinne said, the first 3 months, their mind is like a sponge, and everything that happens in those first 3 months is really going to affect them later on. So like she said, with the vacuum, with the lawnmower, anything like that, we tried to make it so that it was just normal.
Crowds, and you know, Scout, she still doesn't like the vacuum. You know, they're going to, as they age, they're going to figure out that they still don't like some of those things, but it might not be as scary for them.
Right.
If you socialize them young. So the cost of having a puppy. This is a game changer for people, because the first 3 months you go to the vet 3 times. This is in 1 year of life. These are vet bills that Scout Torres has racked up, and she hasn't even had anything major.
She's a healthy puppy.
She's a healthy dog. So, you know, this one's $142. This one's $182. This one is $109. $23, $80, $53. I mean, it is very expensive to have a dog. We put Scout on a pet insurance that has helped us here and there.
It's Healthy Paws. I looked up a bunch of stuff online when we first got her about, you know, which one would be best. So there was that, and there was a couple of other good options, but we went with Healthy Paws. It's pretty cheap. You get to choose kind of how much you want to pay and how much it'll cover.
So if you have a breed in mind that you want to buy, I knew I wanted a Golden Retriever. I would highly, highly recommend researching that breed. Golden Retrievers are very prone to cancer. You know, that's the unfortunate truth, and other dogs have other things. So look into that, because that's definitely something that you want to take into consideration when investing in that breed. You know, we are very aware that that is something that we might have to, sadly, heartbreak, deal with in the future. So that is a huge reason why we got insurance, and a huge reason why we encourage people getting puppies to get insurance, because you need to think about the long run. So, losing sleep. We were getting up every 2 hours during the night to take Scout out. So the rule of thumb is, with pottying,
generally the rule of thumb is that if your puppy is 2 months old, they can hold their bladder for 2 hours. If they're 3 months old, they can hold their bladder for 3 hours, and so forth. So it's going to take a few months before they can really hold their bladder long enough to get through the night. So for Scout, we were getting up every 2 hours to make sure she could go outside, go potty before we would take her back into her crate at the time. And
she wasn't necessarily letting us know every 2 hours, but you're supposed to set your alarm for every 2 hours so they can go relieve themselves, so they're not pottying in their crate, or you know, this is just a good routine to get into to help them learn that this is how I potty outside. And I think that actually really helped us in the potty training process, because during the night, you know, we would get her out of her crate. She picked up really quick. If I go potty, I can go back and go to bed. So I think that helped during the day when she's awake and there's stuff going on and it's distracting. I think that helped her learn, this is where I potty. We were living in an apartment at that time, so we did potty training a little bit differently because we had a balcony. We had puppy pads that we put out, and that was her potty place. We'll do a whole separate video on potty training, but you know, every 2 hours during the night, we were exhausted.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
For months.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Probably about a month or two.
It's
yeah. That same routine.
Yeah. So, and then obviously we crate trained Scout, so that's something we highly recommend too, which they don't like being in the crate, you know, they want to be with you. So waking up every 2 hours, her crying in the crate, it was hard. It was hard.
Be prepared to lose some sleep. Like she said, it's just like having a baby. Not just like it. I don't want to insult anybody out there. I know that's hard, but
they're babies.
They're
real living
they're
babies. Yeah.
So you have to be prepared to lose some sleep in order for them to, you know, be trained the right way.
Yep. When we went in to Petco, we had gotten Scout. Petco closed in 30 minutes. We had no idea what we needed for a puppy. So we ran into Petco. We looked at the lady with Scout and we were like, what do we need?
Help us.
Yeah, help us. What do we need? So the first thing you want to look into is Petco, and I know PetSmart has something like this too. If you get a puppy, they give you this huge coupon book. So I recommend getting this before you get a puppy so you can kind of look through and see what you can save on. I mean, these are like 50% off. Things that I would recommend getting before you get a puppy. We recommend a crate. We swear by crate training. It is so hard at first. I literally slept on the floor by her crate for weeks.
I would wake up and she'd be out of bed and where did Corinne go? And I'd look over and she'd be sleeping on the ground.
It's so hard. Scout. It is so hard to listen to them crying, but and I cried. There were a few nights that I cried because it just absolutely broke my heart, but I would not trade it for the world. I highly recommend figuring out a way to get past that and do it, because for them, that's going to be their safe haven. That's going to be their safe spot. Scout loves her crate. Yes. We say, Scout, go night-night, and she goes right in her crate. Oh, look.
Oh, she's like, all right.
She goes right in her crate. She, you know, if we have the crate open, she'll walk in and take her naps. Like, she loves the crate, and she doesn't mind it if we leave, which is huge. And she now sleeps with us, but she will not go to sleep in the bed with us. She is either in her crate, or if we don't have the crate, she's on the floor on her bed. So,
and that's the thing, it's easy to adjust from crate training to her sleeping in the bed rather than going from her sleeping in the bed when she's older to try and get her into crate training. Yeah. It is almost impossible.
Yeah. So I would say get a crate. They say the smaller the better. Well, they say the smaller for puppies, and then you know, they grow out of it. This helps them feel a little more secure, a little more safe, and it's also supposed to be that they won't potty in a small crate if they're not going to want to stand in their potty.
They should have enough space to stand up comfortably and move around, but not so much space that they have enough room to potty and then still go over and sleep comfortably. Because at the end of the day, it's their home. You wouldn't pee in your own home, right? Like, other than in a bathroom. So it's the same thing for them. You don't want them to potty in their crate. That's their little area. They want to keep it clean, just like we want to keep our houses clean.
So on that note, a crate, we like to get a little bed for her. I know some people don't use a bed. I don't think I could do that. Another thing that you definitely want to get before you get a puppy is puppy pads. Puppy pads, you're gonna need puppy pads. Yeah.
Need them.
You will need toys, you know, obviously you want to get toys for your new baby. They're going to be in a very heavy duty teething stage. And this is completely normal. We thought that we had an aggressive, mean dog when we first got her, and we were like, oh my gosh, we were so worried about her biting people because she was just so mouthy. She just walked around like this, and anything she could get in her mouth she did, including our hands and feet and everything.
But you think about it,
this is normal.
Babies do the same thing, right? You could hand a baby anything and it just goes.
So they will be in their teething stage. We'll do a video about the teething things, but before you get a puppy, we recommend getting things that they can chew on. So,
bully sticks.
Bully sticks. We called bully sticks her pacifier. They smell horrendous. They
really do.
Google it if you want to find out the ingredients. But there's one ingredient and it's quite disgusting, but it was her pacifier. she would wake up in the morning at like 4 a.m. sometimes, and we'd hand her a bully and she'd sit there and chew on it for an hour while we got 1 more hour of sleep. It was literally a lifesaver some mornings. So we highly recommend something like a bully that they can sit there and just chew, 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 chew. Obviously treats, you're gonna wanna get training treats because you wanna start treating them right away. We're gonna do a whole video on how we train Scout with her basic commands, what you should be doing right away with your puppy. Another thing that you have to be aware of and do before you get a puppy is you have to puppy proof your house.
Yes.
You will be blown away with the things that you didn't even know exist that they will find. We're talking chargers. Scout went through at least 5 chargers in her chewing stage. She's never touched a charger since. But I mean, she just, like I said, she walked around with her mouth open and anything she could grab and chew on. And obviously that can be quite dangerous for a puppy. That's something I highly recommend, is taking a day or a few hours out of your day to walk around and just, you know, think like a puppy. Like, you know, anything that you don't want to be destroyed, you should have up off the ground because they will find it. And
eat it.
And destroy it.
Yes, huh? You did that. Yes.
So we'll be going over potty training, basic commands, walking on a leash. There's so many things. So we're so looking forward to this because I think that it's really gonna help answer so many questions that you guys come to me with. And it's exciting for us because we've just learned so much and we've spent so much time and money trying to figure out how to be good dog parents. And so we are by no means professionals, and I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. We are not professional dog trainers. This is just what has worked for us with Scout. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways and opinions, so you just have to kind of find what works best for you and your dog, but this is what worked for us.
I will say we get a lot of compliments on this little girl though, and how well behaved she is.
Best dog ever. All right guys, that pretty much sums up what we would recommend that you should be aware of and what you should have before you bring a puppy home. Our next video is going to be all about potty training your puppy. So I get a ton of questions on that, so we will cover all things potty training. But we want to hear in the comments below what other recommendations you guys have. We have quite a few videos set up, but we want to make sure that we're covering everything that you want to know. So comment below, like this video if you guys are super stoked about this series, because we're stoked for this series. So subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. That way you will get notified when a new video is posted. You'll never miss a video if you subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching our video, guys. We will be back next Monday with a potty training video. Scout is over filming right now. She needs a nappy poo-poo. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.